All right, we are talking about traversing array lists today. Last class, we learned about how to create array lists and how to access values from them, how to add values to them, how to remove values from them, how to interface with them in general. So this is very slightly different from how we can access regular arrays. Can't use that square bracket notation. The length value is slightly different. It's the size method instead. So there's very slight differences in how we can access an array list. And these minor differences will affect the way that we traverse our array lists, if only a little bit. So last unit, we talked about traversing through an array. We have an int array with numbers in it. We have int I equals 0, I less than our array's length, and then we increase I by 1 each time, and we can do something with array at index I each time through the loop. This, we've done this before, we've done this with strings, we've done this with arrays now. So the changes with array lists, obviously we're going to create an array list instead of an array. And since array lists start empty, we're going to add some elements in between. And we don't have a length value, and we can't use square bracket notation. So we need to update our condition and our getting value to be the array.size method. That's how we get the length of an array list. And to retrieve our values, we're going to use the get method rather than square bracket notation. Other than that, though, iterating over an array list, almost identical to iterating over a regular array. So just like all the other times we have worked with array stuff or with looping over things, our array indices start at 0. And they go up until array.size -1. We are always going to have our last index be 1 less than the length. And if we go out of bounds, we'll hit an error. Just like every other thing, can't access out of bounds indices. And just like with arrays, we can use while loops to traverse through an array list. We can also use a for each loop with an array list. And while loops make the same changes as with a regular array between a while loop with an array and then a while loop with an array list. A for each loop looks exactly identical, actually. So we don't need to make any specific changes in a for each loop when we're working with array lists. We can have our iterator, the value that we're going to pull one at a time from our array list in our collection of values in our array list, and then we can do whatever we want with our singular value. So that's how we can traverse over array lists. Now, something that we need to be careful of while we are traversing through array lists is their changing size, something that arrays cannot do. So we didn't have to worry about this. We need to worry about how the size of an array list is going to change while we're traversing if we are planning to remove or add elements. So let's say we wanted to write a loop that's going to remove any item in an array list that starts with the letter A. So we're going to make some method called remove A's. It's going to be void. We don't need to return anything. We're just going to be editing our original array list. And we're going to get an array list of strings as a parameter. So the first thing we need to do inside of this method is loop over all of our indices. Use a for loop, just like we have been using for the past forever. And then inside, we need to check if the current word that we're looking at is if it starts with the letter A. And if it does, then we want to remove it from our array list. So if our words.getI, if the current word dot starts with, it's just a method built into strings. It'll check if the first character is the letter A. If it is, then we will remove that index. We'll yank it out of our array list. So let's look at how this might work if we have this array list. If we have the array list, I ate apple and banana with capital letters. So I is going to start at 0. 0 is less than words.size, so we're going to enter our loop. We're going to check our condition. Does words at index I start with an A? I does not start with the letter A, so our condition is false. We're going to skip it, and we're going to increase our I. We're going to look at the next element. I is still in range, so we're going to check our condition. Does the word 8 start with the letter capital A? Once again, it does not. So we're going to skip our if statement. We're going to increase our I. I is now 2. Does apple start with the letter capital A? Here, that does happen. So our condition is now true. So we can enter our if statement. We're going to call words.remove on index I, which is going to pull that value out. It'll return the word apple, and then everything afterwards is going to shift down. So we're still looking at index 2. I still equals 2. So then we increase our I to 3. Banana does not start with an A. So that is the last thing in our loop. We have looked at all the elements, or we've looked at all of the indices in our array list. Now, did we properly remove all of the words that start with the letter A? It looks like we still have the word and here. So we never actually checked if and starts with an A. So when we shifted it backwards, when we removed something and shifted and into that spot, we never actually checked that index. We never checked that value with this condition. So what we can do to solve this problem is anytime we actually remove something from our array list, we're going to subtract 1 from I. We're going to do an I minus minus so that we actually check the thing that got shifted into the place we were looking at. So if we skip ahead to I equals 2, we know that apple starts with A. When I remove my index 2, we yank apple out. And then when we say I minus minus, I shifts backwards so that I equals 1 now. Then, now that our if statement is over, we're going to go back to the top. We're going to run that I++. Now I equals 2 again. So I equals 2. Now we can check if our word starts with the letter A and does start with the letter A. So we can remove index I again. We can remove index 2. We remove the and. And now we once again want to make sure that we move our index I back so that we actually check the thing that got shifted into index 2. So we say I minus minus, and then we go back up and we do I++, and we check, does banana start with the letter A? Once again, banana does not start with A, so our condition is false. Our loop is now over, or our condition is false. I++ happens. I is now not less than words.size. Loop is over. So our final end result becomes I ate banana, which is good. We've actually removed all of the letter A from our array list. So that is how we can solve problems when we're removing. And a similar thing might happen when we are adding a value. If we're inserting values at the current index, we might mess with indices as well. So we want to make sure we are not double checking things, or that we're not skipping over things when we're working with array lists. And this same exact idea is going to apply when we're traversing using a while loop. So if we have the same exact loop, but with a while loop, while our index is less than our words.size, if the words.getIndex starts with an A, then we will remove the current index. Otherwise, we can increase the index. So here, we are only increasing the index. We're only looking at the next word when we didn't remove anything. So if we did remove something, we're going to stay on that index and then check it again the next time through the loop. And only when we have not removed something will we continue looking. So that's how we can use while loops to do the same thing. And this works because we have a little bit more control over that iterator variable in a while loop. With a for loop, it's always going to increase by 1. So we need to add that I minus minus to our loop. Where here, we can just use that if else to only update our iterator when it needs to be updated. Now, something to keep in mind, when we are using for each loops to traverse array lists, we are not allowed to add or remove elements. If we change the size of an array list while we're iterating over it with a for each loop, we will get a concurrent modification exception because we are modifying it at the same time as we are trying to loop over it, which Java does not like. So if we are going to use a for each loop, we cannot be changing the size of the array list. We're totally allowed to use for each loops. We just can't change the size of the array list while we're using one. So if we are planning to add elements inside of a loop or remove elements inside of a loop, it's best to do that using a regular for loop or a while loop, not using a for each loop.
Wait, so Mr. Mac, what should we use the for each loop for then?
So if you were just going to access each element and like do some kind of a calculation with it, if you're going to change, actually, no, not changing, can't change anything for each loop. So if you're gonna, if you're printing out an array list, for eaches are generally easier because you can say something along the lines of for, let's say, string word in words system.println word, because then you don't have to do all the get method, you don't have to do any of the other stuff. You can just access every word individually. So for each loops are useful when we want to do just accessing or doing some kind of a calculation using the values of our elements.
All right, that makes sense.
For loop also change the condition I less than or size for the new size of the array list. So since we're calling, if we go back, that's a good question. If we are calling the words.size in our condition for our loop, either a while loop or a for loop, since we're using that method every single time, anytime we get up here, we are going to call it and check with the current size of the list or the array list. If we made a variable up above and said int size equals words.size, and then we just use that size variable, then we would probably get an error if we were trying to change the size of it. But since we are calling that words.size every time through the loop, we're actually we will edit the start or the time that we stop if we actually reach the end. So we won't hit an out of bounds doing that. All right. Any questions on traversing arrays or array lists? Does that make sense? Cool.